What is up, guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to be carrying on with our project here to get everything painted. The next step in the process for me is going to be repriming some stuff here because some of the plastic, especially on this lip and other things like areas of the bumper that I sanded into the plastic, sometimes when you prime over that, they can get kind of rough and have like a textured feel to it. So I sanded those out, and I did sand through in some areas. So what I want to do is just reprime all these spots here. You can see we got a little bit of this right here showing through, so I don't really like that very much. So we're going to try to prime over that. And all the stuff that has any issues here, like the bare fiberglass and all that stuff. So prime over that, and then once we go over all this stuff, we'll be hitting it with 400 grit, so we shouldn't have to worry about sanding through, and we should be nice and flat. So that's what is in store for this video. I'm going to go ahead and get some paint mixed up right after I go over everything with a little red Scotch-Brite. I just want to make sure that everything is nice and sanded. And yeah, we should be ready to go, ready to prime. Hopefully I have enough. I don't really have too much primer, but we're going to lay down whatever we can, most important stuff first, and then I guess we'll get back to it. And then once everything dries, we'll go ahead and either put it back on the car or see what else we can do here.
So I've been going around trying to fill in some of these pinholes. I found some more after going over it. It's just inevitable. There's so many pinholes in these pieces that I made. It's just, I'm going to continue to find them. So I'm just trying to get all the major ones that are visible. And then anything else, hopefully the primer will fill it in. That's just what I'm hoping. If I do even have enough primer to shoot this stuff. So I'm going to continue to go over, find a few more pinholes and fill them in, and then after that I'm going to go ahead and mix up some primer and get ready to spray.
Alright guys, so it's been a few days since I painted. You can see I got all my parts sitting over here. Got the bumper, as well as the grill, lip, front bumper, skirts are over there, the spoilers over here, and yeah, I got the rear lip and everything that was already all set. So based on all that, I'm pretty much ready to reassemble this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the lips off, and I'm going to put the front and rear bumpers on. And I want to try to get all the panel gaps set up really good, whether it's doors, as well as doors and fenders. Even though the fenders are going to have to come off again, I just want to make sure that the gaps are going to be good. And maybe I'll find some way to mark it before I do go ahead and take it off again. But yeah, I want to make sure all the gaps are really good so that everything fits nicely. Once I go to put it back together, I'd rather not be messing with it once it's all painted. I don't want to scratch it. But yeah, so if I can get the fender gaps to fit good and the bumper gaps and everything right now, then that'll make less work for us later on. So what I'm planning on doing is throwing it all back together, all the bumpers and everything, front and rear. Probably still leave the side skirts off and everything, and then I'm gonna just go through and start doing my sanding little by little, like I said. But first things first, I'm gonna get the bumpers on and blinkers and stuff. That way the thing's mobile, so I can drive it to work and back still and enjoy it and keep the thing running nice while I'm doing all my sanding and fine detail. But for right now, I just went ahead and lined this fender up. I like this store gap. It's pretty good. Gets a little tight up top here, and maybe I could shift the whole fender up just a little bit and try to tie this edge over, because it seems a little weird to me. But once it's all painted, it might look better, and I still obviously have room to mess with it. But yeah, that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my clips on for my fenders and stuff like that, so that we can get ready on this thing. I just wanted to say that I've been out of working on the Accord for a little while, and that's just due to some issues that I was having. You know, I had a little bit of a respiratory thing that I was worried about. You know, with the whole situation going on, there's that, but then also I was painting and stuff, and I think this garage has always not really been set up for painting, and I paint in it anyway, and I never really had an issue until recently when I painted the other side of the car there, and then when I also painted the bumpers, I had issues at night breathing, and I don't know if I caused some sort of respiratory thing for myself with the chemicals in the paint. So from now on, I've just been super careful, and anytime I've been sanding, I've had issues too. So you know, that's just how it's going to be now. So I need to change the way that I operate, and because I still want to achieve my goals here and paint this car. So I need to worry about my health while also getting done what I need to get done. So that's kind of why I've been at a standstill with it. I've been trying to work things through with myself and figure out what I'm going to do. And I think what I'm going to set up is some sort of fresh air respirator system. So I'm going to get something with a full face shield that has some sort of port where I can have the fresh air coming into the mask, and that way it creates positive pressure, which will push out any gaps in the mask. So if it doesn't seal, that fresh air is coming out, and also there's no need to use cartridges because the airflow in this garage isn't so stellar. I'd like to revamp that as well, make a bigger fan system with a bigger exhaust and some filters so that we get less dust and we have a nice overall better job. So I have a lot of stuff to set up before this car gets painted. I know everybody wants to see it painted, but I just want it to come out good, and I want to spray it here to show you guys that it's possible to do it in your own garage if you're crazy like me, I guess, and have it come out like showroom quality. But you know, I don't know, I just want so much for myself. I could just bring it to a booth, but that's a whole nother fiasco. So I think the best way for me to do this is to get the fresh air system set up, and then I'm good for the future with no exposure to these chemicals. So I need to set that up, and maybe I'll make some videos on that. Let me know if you guys are interested. I don't know if any of you guys are painters, but it's definitely, you know, your health is super important, and I need to take it more seriously. So I'm gonna start. But the car, this is its current state. It's being used as a shelf for some compost for the garden, but whatever. Anyway, you can see on here, I got a lot of grindings from the Tahoe I've been working on, but when I was sanding the trunk, I realized that I never messed with the trunk, and the trunk is still the factory, like the way it came from factory. It's never been hit or anything, but there's just high and low spots in the trunk itself, just maybe from age or the metal's fatigued. I'm not really sure what it is, but I guess sometimes cars just, they just aren't really straight from the factory. They're just not that upper level of quality car, which I guess I understand, but for me, I feel like the rest of this car is pretty straight. I did a lot of body work on this car to make it straight, so I really didn't do that on the trunk. I think I just DA'd it and shot it way back when I first started doing the body work. So I think that the trunk is not going to block out very nice, and it might look wavy, and that kind of bugs me personally. I was just thinking about leaving it, just priming these spots where I rub through and just shooting it and being like whatever, but I just feel like, what if the rest of the car's straight and this is all wavy and it's going to kill me? Like, that kind of thing really messes with me, guys. So I don't know. I'm such a perfectionist. I think I'm going to try to fix the trunk while I have all this other stuff to set up. I might as well just put that on the back burner too. I'm just going to hit the whole thing with 80 grit, bring it down a little bit, find my high and low spots, mark them, tap down the highs and fill them in, and just try to make the trunk flat. And then once it's all good to go, just this thing will be straight. And I just want it to be nice. I want it to be perfect. I'm such a crazy guy. Even though you guys will all think it looks great on camera either way. You can't pick up on that kind of stuff on camera. That's only the kind of stuff you're going to see in real life when you have this thing at a show or something, which I'll probably take it to some shows once it's all done. I think it might be pretty nice. Who knows? Maybe it'll come out terrible, and I'm talking it all up here. But either way, you guys will think it looks good. I promise. Anyway, this is what I've been working on, the Tahoe right here. My brother's truck, he got rear-ended on the other side, and so I replaced the quarter on that side. But also, he had a bunch of rust going on this side. You can see the panels under there all rotted. So I've been doing it over for him. I put a new panel on this side and on the other side. You guys have probably seen the other video up on. But yeah, if you guys are still watching this video to the end, that's what I've been up to, if you're interested. But I am going to get back to work on the Accord as soon as this Tahoe's done and primed, and I've shot this Tahoe with my new gun and my fresh air respirator system. Then I'm going to jump on the Accord. Should be sometime this summer when the weather's nice and warm, and you always want to paint in the hot weather. The paint floats out really good, and we'll make this thing beautiful, don't worry. And then we got big plans for it. So yeah, don't worry, there'll be more Accord content. It's just it's coming. Bear with me. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I appreciate you watching and sticking with me, and I appreciate you putting up with all the customer repair videos, but that's what brings in a little bit of bankroll on the channel, so got to make those too. So appreciate it, guys, and pretty soon I'll be all in 4K. This is the last 1080p video probably that I'm going to be posting, so look out for the 4K videos on the Accord. And we got to drive this thing. I want to take this thing out this week for a rip, so hopefully you guys can look forward to a video of me driving pretty soon. So thanks, guys. Peace.